All right, Players Watch. We are going to do a Zoom training for our Friday night session this week. Have some time away from the pitch, and it's classroom work. So a lot of times, what you do away from the pitch is just as important as what you do on the pitch. I always like the term mentorship, and mentorship doesn't always mean in person. What it means is finding information, finding individuals that put things out there that can enrich your mind and your understanding perspective of things that can pull you forward in ways you can't pull yourself forward. So whether that's watching great instructional videos, great talkers, whether it's watching a really good inspirational movie. For a lot of people, I've recommended Rudy is a great movie. Also, Eddie the Eagle, great movies that you players can watch with your families. Kind of shows the journey being more important than the result. For a lot of you, I think as you age up and you get older, you'll understand that the journey is the good stuff, and the results, whether you won or lost the event that you were in front of, there's just more events. So enjoy the journey over the destination. So this little training tonight, going to start with a video. So we're going to watch a short video. It's about the wisdom of wolves. I've always kind of been obsessed with the leadership skills of the wolf pack and how they treat the leaders, the newcomers, and the older, weaker wolves. So we're gonna do a quick screen share. Get to this video here. It's 2 minutes long. Let's watch. All right. So, amidst any group, there are going to be leaders, there are going to be strong players, there are going to be weaker players, and there are going to be those that are in the middle. And, unifying where your role is amongst that pecking order is to ensure that the pack survives and everyone moves forward in the right direction. And true leaders make sure everyone, the people in their unit are getting what they need to improve because they get what they need after what everyone else gets what they need. So I've always said if I can help other people get what they really want and desire, it's always going to help me get what I want every single time. So again, these coaches that you're going to see in the future, these opportunities that are come down your way, whether it's soccer related or other related, that leadership mentality of serving the group, making the group better because you were a part of it, is going to be something that can follow you around for the rest of your days. Next screen share, we're going to break down our tactical board here. So we're looking at for the U12 boys, we're still 9v9, but we'll be moving to 11v11 next year. And so it's going to keep the 11v11 on the board. But for the U12 boys, this player's out and this player's out. Okay, so we next year we add a second midfielder and we add a second central defender. Okay, now these numbers are the number system that U.S. Soccer uses to describe each position. So your 1 is a keeper, your 4 and 5 are your center backs, your 2 and your 3 are out backs. Your 6 is a defensive midfielder. Your 8 is more of a holding midfielder. I know I have attacking. I like 2 attacking mids, but the 8 is more of a holding mid. Your 7 and 11 are wingers. Your 9 is your top striker, and your 10 is your more of your attacking mid of the 2 in the middle. So knowing the numbers can help you talk to other coaches. A lot of the high school coaches have adopted the number system. Some coaches do it, and they'll talk in terms of, hey, go play the 9. I think you should play the 6. You're a 5. I don't like the number system as much, but it's good to know. As we look at the attacking and or defending portion of the field, the scores primarily are going to come from position 1. That's where most of the goals are going to occur from. A lot of these are one-touch goals, so they're not always the most beautiful score goals. A lot of them can be toe pokes, rebounds, garbage goals. A lot of those happen in here where you can get that touch off quickly and on target, keeping the ball low, lower than the keeper's arms, but also getting it slightly off the ground or skipping or bouncing over feet. Usually that's going to be your 9, or the first guy down the pitch is going to filter to 1. 2s are going to come from this back 6 position where they're sliding just inside this 6-yard box on this back area, and they really support the ball when it misses 1. So 1's the first service, 2, the ball is going to come in, and then the 3 position is going to be that person on the top of the box that can get a shot from the top. Your most advantageous serving zone to those is in this 2 box down here below the 6. And we talk a lot about getting the ball below the 6 and serving it above the 6. So wing play is really designed on, can a winger drive the ball down into this lower position? We find that a lot of our wingers right now are cutting the ball back too early. They're getting the ball here and they're cutting it up at the top of the 18, which is taking away a lot of those service opportunities. So developing more face-up moves, more deceptive play, so our wing players can get down to the end lines, but also not serving it, across below the 6, getting the ball above the 6, and then our players filtering those spots. As this winger gets deeper and deeper, we're set up to where this outside back should then start to support this ball. And then our 4-man back should become, a 3-man back here. Okay. This winger on the other side is really responsible for this 2. The striker would then filter 1. Your attacking mid is going to come off 3. And then you have 2 midfielders kind of there for a swing. And you have a 3-man back. So this is really where we get to our top goal scoring opportunity in an offensive set. And we've shifted to a 3-man back. We got one of our outside backs coming up to support the ball if this gets stalled here. Okay. And then if this ball comes here, what we've been teaching a lot is the outside back should be just targeting, that 1-2 zone, a chip back into that spot. These players, if this ball does get dropped, should be, trying to hook run around this 18. And then everyone's kind of attacking that zone as the ball gets chipped back in there. If this person gets stuck with the ball, then it's this defensive midfielder's role to be at a 45 drop. We then start to build, some shifting here, some action. If this ball does go back, this winger is then responsible to flare. Our striker's always checking into the ball space. And then this ball could move here. and then get going on the other side, and we're back at it again from this side. Okay. If this, if the swing ever gets deterred, then the ball goes to the outside back. We have a shift here. Our striker then has to get on his horse and come over into this position. And we've got our diamond set up on this side. Okay. Now, as we build this from the defensive third to the middle third to be able to get those opportunities, we really rely on our defensive back back to be able to swing the ball. Okay. So if a fullback is coming up on the outside and the play isn't there, the defense had, the defense of the other team has shifted, and they've done a good job of thwarting that opportunity. Okay. Let's see here. I screwed some of this up. There we go. All right. So there's our shape here. Right. So the top three hits shifted. The ball's here. And right now we see that this outside back sometimes will force the play when it's not there. So you come up and you're noticing that even though you've got, 5 players checking to the ball here, that this play is not, they've got numbers, and the maturity of the outside back is to recognize when it's not advantageous to go forward with it. And where then we can get to the center back, we can drop it. We're creating these angles. And the ball then, we have a diamond with our back four. Our central midfielder. Sorry, I have this mixed here. Sorry. Our defensive mid now is facing the ball, facing their own goal. And we're attempting to make this ball move to get to the other outside back over here. Okay. And then we're transitioning. So as the ball swings, we know there's going to be holes. The wingers then have to do a good job of shifting. That's a 40 to 60 yard run. And these guys have turned the steering wheel this way. We do have that attacking mid on the offside. And then we've worked ourselves back into the shape here. And after a swing, I think what we're going to find is that there's more opportunities to find open guys. And one of the things we've been talking about is this guy has the ball. He's the quarterback. These guys are the wide receivers for that quarterback. So showing with physical energy and getting open like a wide receiver would be in a football game, so the quarterback can get them the ball, body shaping so they're facing the right directions, and having a standpoint of being ready physically early before the ball gets there. You're not late on that first touch. Okay. From a defensive position, we want to defend. So I'm going to flip the script here. I'm going to move our defenders into this third here and really talk about the back four. So as the ball is over here and being attacked, this defender is really protecting this blue line, and they don't want that ball to come into this space. They want to try to drive the ball down towards this 3 and protect this 2. So we're on the top side. We're promoting the ball to go down. Now, at some point, this defender or this offensive player is going to attempt to come down, and that's why this defender needs to block the ball from going above the 6. We want them to cross the ball down towards the keeper or even force that ball to go out of bounds or in a goal kick. It's where we've got in trouble, where this person overplays their position and allows this person to come back up into the zone. And that's where we've gotten in trouble, especially with the U13 girls team. Outside backs not containing this ball. Okay. Also, one thing we've gotten is that when the ball's here, these 2 center backs can't shift too far. We've gotten a situation where they both come over here, and then this outside back has got too much responsibility. They're covering 1 and 2 by themselves. So one central back has to stay in 1. The outside back gets to stay in 2, and then this back gets to support the ball. The defensive midfielder has to defend the 3 position for that ball to come to the top of the box. Okay. Now, our attacking mids at this time are really not chasing the ball. Right? The attacking mids are supporting the defenders once they get the ball. Now, the winger on this side has to drop down and support the ball, even if it's on defense. This striker should then come over, take this person's position. And this winger over here, the weak side winger who's out of play the most when we're playing defense, should come up into that striker position and start looking for a transition. But these attacking mids really do kind of hold that triangle with the defensive mid. So if this ball is won, that this back, when it gets, it has more, has that diamond. They've got that supporting player here ready to play offense and help get the ball out. We have the striker that is looking for a long ball to feet, and we have that winger outlet. If this attacking mid comes down into the space and helps play defense, then we've lost the ability to transition from defense to offense. So these attacking mids, when the ball's down into the defensive third and our central backs and our defensive mid are doing their work, they really got to hang as outlets. And then the striker and the winger that are not on the ball side have shifted. And again, we've got some 4 players who can really make a run at it if we get the ball out. Okay. But defending the back third is getting the ball to 3, trapping it, using the end line as a defender, using the sideline as a defender, and then winning your 1v1 play. Your outside backs really are great 1v1 defenders. They're good at getting the ball from the other team, but they're also good at protecting certain positions on the field from that ball getting in, and those types of situations. Okay. The other thing is let's get the ball up, and we have an attack here. Okay. So we have our wing play here, and I want to talk really about the striker and the attacking mids working together. So let's bring all these guys back out here. We got the ball out of the defensive back. We're in the middle third of the field here, right? And let's say that we can get the ball, whether it's attacking mid, fullback, someone gets this ball to the striker. And this striker really is attacking at a triangle. So they're going to, the striker wants to start off between the last 2 defenders and really attack on an angle of a triangle shape. So they're getting the ball in these holes. Now, what we would like to see is that when the ball comes in, let's say this fullback has the ball and finds this striker who's showed in, that these attacking mids try to make through runs. Yes, we could drop the ball and swing it. Certainly could be dropped, could go wide. But another way to go about it is that if this striker, and we talked about some turning moves, could hold the ball for a second and let this guy make a run through, that certainly could be, this guy could dribble down this way and then slide that ball through. And we've seen that work a few times. I know Charlotte on the girls team got a breakaway doing that. It came to the striker. It actually was dropped to the attacking mid, and then she went through. So this ball went here, and as the ball dropped, she had a through run, and we got it through. So those are some things the attacking mid could do, is some burst through and becoming that striker, switching positions. It really works well if there's some good one touches. A lot of our attacks on goal start with some triangle passes. So getting balls, to work through these 3 in order to get a through ball. And if those don't work, then we get it out wide, and then these 3 go fill 1, 2, and 3. But let's talk about the breakaway. So let's say we get a breakaway and you get the ball here and it's you and the keeper and you got a lot of distance. The first thing you want to do is try to pass the ball about halfway to the goal so that you can actually sprint, full run. If you try to dribble it, the defenders are probably going to catch you. At this age, we don't have a lot of guys that can dribble at full English speed in a way that they're going to separate. I know the girls team, we played a number 11, our last game, who had that ability, and she had a great English dribble at full speed. The boys, we've run into a couple players who can do it. So go out in your backyard and practice English dribbling at full controlled speed. Tough to do. That kind of separates a player like Messi who can do that. But most kids can't. So you have that breakaway. Go and pass the ball out there about halfway, not to where the keeper's going to get it. Give you some room to full sprint. Now, as you come to the ball, you need to have a visual on this keeper. If this keeper's really hanging on his line, you need to be dribbling the ball all the way to the point of attack, which is between the BK and the 6, which is position 1. And then now this is not a shooting opportunity. It becomes a push pass. So you're going to push pass it past the keeper. Okay. Now, if the keeper does, if you're looking up and can see that the keeper starts coming up, then you're gonna have to, do some type of feint, maybe act like you're gonna cut this way, and then you just touch it to the side and you make your shot from here where you're trying to pass it around the keeper. But we've had kids, keepers on the line, and we have a kids one-on-one with the keeper pull up from the top of the box and attempt a shot when there's no reason to shoot that ball. Okay. So just some things to kind of start tactically looking at, some universal tactics that can aid in the increase of production. So there's two ways to get production. We can just increase volume and we can shoot 30 times a game. And whether we're good or bad, we're going to get 2 to 3 goals with that volume. It's harder to do that when you get higher and higher levels of soccer because the other team's going to be good enough to hold you off. So as we get higher up in our leagues and play against the better teams, volume's not going to be the option. It's going to be efficiency. So it's just players understanding where they need to get to, where the goals are going to come from, where they support, and just running all that software a little bit quicker so that our pace goes up. And the pace is all the players on the field reacting to each other at a faster pace from a standpoint of tactics, and then having the skills to execute things in less time. Meaning, if your first touch is bad, it's going to take you a lot longer and the timing is going to be off. If your releases are inaccurate, it's going to cause a lot of turnovers. And then the athleticism. Are we accelerating faster than the other team? Do we have better agility, changing directions? Are we more stable when we're bracing people? Do we create more power? Do we have power endurance? Can we repeat that power all the way through the match? So we have some guys, and I'll point out, a younger group. Harper creates a lot of power in his play, but at times he suffers at repeating that power enough times. Another player like Isaac, who's spent a lot of time with the weight training and getting stronger, is producing power, but can he produce it enough times? So those are things to do in the gym. Is your power there? Are you producing enough force? Number one. And number two, can you build the repeatability of that force? So guys, that's going to be our training for today. This will be for your viewing. And then again, as we talked about, 12 hours a week on your own is really, really unreasonable. But any player that moves towards cutting into that 12 hours a week on their own is going to start moving towards their potential in a way that your peers are not going to. So just some food for thought. Manage your time. Red time first. Get your off time set. Make sure you're working from rest, not resting from work. Get your prep time in so you know when you're preparing things, and then be really productive in your green time. Have a great weekend, guys.